Hi, welcome to this week's Dragonblade Authors Unplugged. I'm so excited. I got a one-on-one with Sara Adrien. That hardly ever happens. Up to in-depth to one person. I'm really looking forward to it. But before we start with Sarah's book, we had a bunch of books released this week. We had Maeve Grayson had book 5 in her 7 Unsuitable Sisters, which is Felicity's Eloquent Earl, is out. We have a brand new Dragonblade author, Nikki Pasquarelli, had a Lion's Den book. Nikki Pasquarella, not Relly, Rella, had a Lion's Den book. It's The Lion's Pretty Pugilist. We get lady boxers. We get a whole series of lady boxers. I'm so excited about that one. And then Alexa Aston had book 6 in her Captivating Kisses series, which is an urgent kiss. So I'm assuming there's a reason it's urgent, but we'll find out. But I'll make sure I pop the link to all of those books in the comments so you can grab them if you haven't had a chance to get them yet. But today we get to talk about Sarah's book, which is book 4 in the Wedding Fever series, and it's Ways to Kiss a Marquess in Winter. And if you're going to kiss anybody in winter, it better be a Marquess. Sarah, can you tell us about the book in the series?
Absolutely. It's funny that this is actually the last book in the series because it was the first hero I started to write.
Oh, wow.
I loved him so much. His name is Sebastian. He's the Marquess of Cambridge, not related to any of the real Marquesses of Cambridge of the time. And he made an appearance as the sidekick in book 1 of the series.
Mm-hmm.
And he was already so strong. And poor guy, I wrote him in winter, and I live in Boston where, it's cold. It's even very...
You get winter for real there.
Yeah. We have the inspiration is right there. And I'm even writing as I was looking forward to the release of this book. I'm already writing my next winter book, which will come out with Dragonblade later this year. It's right. It's dark now, but the inspiration is all there. So poor Sebastian starts the book catching a cold. And how no good deed goes unpunished, and he is then trudging along to his very best friend Thomas's impending wedding, and he has of course seen this coming since book 1, since Thomas fell in love, because the series goes through this band of friends. And Sebastian, I was picturing it like it's over 200 years ago. He had leather shoes. They got wet really quickly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it would do mean things to your feet.
Terrible. Freezing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it took him the whole night before he could get dry. And then once he got to Thomas's castle, everyone was expecting him to be this grand, show up the Grand Marquess. He was really shivering and cold, and then he realized he was getting hot. It's like, that was bad. He had a fever, and he just feels awful, which results in, I think, one of my, I want to say 2 or 3 favorite meet cutes from all the books I ever wrote so far, because poor Sebastian, it happens right in the beginning of the book, sneezes on this gorgeous girl.
Oh, no.
And she's like, ew. And then he looks at her, and
of course she is,
right? and she is trying to be polite because we know her already from the other books. She's Maddie, and she's this caring person and always very proper. But that was gross. And she looks at him, and he's beginning to apologize because he's a Marquess, so he has the right manners. And she just sees this big red nose, and he's not feeling like he's not looking good. And she was like, that was awful. So usually
not a character.
So this is then where we really dive into their characters quickly, right after the meet cute, which was so much fun to write, because you have in this book, they both have to learn to be seen for who you are.
Mm-hmm. That's my favorite.
I love it because they don't just see each other, but they have to learn to be seen and what their value is beyond the title, beyond the position, beyond the expectations. And we can all relate with this.
Mm-hmm. It's what we all want.
Yes.
To learn to be seen and be seen.
Right. You're going to make me love this book even more, than I'm going to write another winter story. And so
that is a problem, Sarah.
And all the readers will say, it's been really a long winter in Boston. So then we have this glow up without changing your essence, because they can't really hide. Maddie gets in trouble, and he gets a cold, and he just feels awful. And there's not much pretending he can do.
Mhm.
And she kind of brings upon him a forced proximity. But I wanted to change this with a safety net, because they're at this house party preparing for the wedding. There
Mhm.
are all these guests. And yet, how can you feel safe when everybody's watching you?
Yeah.
So they managed to do this for each other. And then I have one
Lovely.
really big, they are so sweet together.
Mhm.
I really love them. And so, these fake people, you just, you
Mhm.
love them. But they're not that fake sometimes, because they're a piece of you.
Yeah. Well, and we react to imaginary characters stronger than we do to real people sometimes. So
Yeah. I'm glad you said it this time. I feel it.
that's true.
And then there's this one thing that they also do for each other at completely different times of the book, but it's this I've got you. It's like
Oh, nice.
it's not necessarily I have to save you, because I'd save you anyway, because any normal person in the situation would,
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
I've got you, and that means something else.
Yeah.
And they can hold on to each other. And so then there's a lot of cold, and there's the winter stuff. We have an avalanche in
Oh my
England.
goodness.
That took a lot of research, and I'm actually all month this month of February, I'm sharing all this research that was only, like the tip of the iceberg that made it into the book, but
Is
I'm
that your
sharing.
Substack?
Yeah, it's all going on my Substack.
Oh, oh,
Yeah,
we need you to put the link to your Substack in the
I will.
comments so that we can also learn about avalanches because
In England.
yeah, I didn't know that it even happened in England.
I know. I kind of started writing them because I grew up in Germany, and there are the Alps. And then sometimes
Mhm.
my family took me to, I'm no good at skiing, but that could be a series, not a book. But there were always those signs for like, don't go there because that's where the avalanches could be if there's
Yeah,
snow. So naturally, if there's a house party and there's a mountain and there's snow, in my mind, we go toward don't go there because there could be avalanches.
avalanches. Yeah.
And I had to start looking this up. Like, how do I make the avalanches work in England, though? But I did, and it was dangerous. And luckily, we have this wonderful Marquess. And so Sebastian falls first.
I love it. He falls
Um,
first.
he does, and he also recognizes that he has fallen, while she's still completely oblivious to all of this because she's so proper, and he's sick, so he can't make a move. He's not terribly, terribly sick, but he has a cold, so he
Yeah,
won't
hard
even
to
make a
court when
move.
you're sneezing.
Right, it won't work. Um, but he manages to really turn this around on her and basically sweep her off her feet. Um, we have all the wintry scenes that I meant. It was like they're snowed in. There are surprises from the other characters. So you'll have all the readers have to read the book to find out what those surprises are. We won't
So,
ruin it. And then we have the whole emotional arc for both of them. There's a lot of there's a bit of rom-com in there because they have
ah,
good banter with each
mhm.
other. So some of it gets really funny. Well, it's like, oh no, don't do that. But there is some cathartic justice at the end.
Oh, nice.
I actually needed a whole month just to rewrite the last 3 chapters over and over and over. The book was finished, um, and I have this wonderful, delightful. I have actually all the only delightful editors at Dragonblade, and I sent her an email and I said the book is finished, and it's due, and I'm not ready to let it go. And she's like, what happened? And I said, look, I just, I have the happy ending and this is all ready, but I have to tell you that there's this bad guy that I've been hating for 3 books already. And
Mhm.
now in the 4th one, he's going to get his justice.
He has to because this is your chance. You don't want to
Right.
miss this opportunity.
And this is the first time also that I have seriously ended a series. So everything had to fall into place. And I said, I need to give my hero a victory run, and I need to pound this guy. And like he's
Yeah,
just so bad.
he must pay.
So she said, "You just work on this and then give it to me when you're ready." And it took me about another 3 or 4 weeks. And I really kept rewriting it. And I saved every draft because I thought if she doesn't like it, then maybe I'll give her one of the other 12 drafts or so. And she loved it. She like loved the entire way that I brought justice and the plot twist. And
Oh,
it was, it's, you kind of have to feel it before you can write it.
mhm. Yeah.
Um, so that happened in this book also.
Oh, good.
Um,
Well, I know she loved it. We'll love it too. So
I hope you'll all love it. The first couple of reviews are coming in, and some of them are really very kind. Um, and I'm very happy that the readers feel the feelings when I want to put them into the book.
yeah.
Um, so then, should I tell you about the heroine?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, so Maddie, in the first 3 books, as I said, is like, and as some of the readers might know, has been so proper. She's by the rules, like don't get caught alone with a guy in a room, and all of these Regency rules. And now she basically has just had it, and she no longer wants to be pigeonholed. And her mother is about to come, and she's going to put her up, and basically create an arranged marriage with the villain of the series.
Oh, wow.
Right, and so Maddie is like, her
Not this
mother,
guy. No,
no.
not this guy.
And then the villain is doing terrible things, and you'll have to see. Like, he's serious. He has the ending coming that I
Yeah.
worked out.
I'm
And
glad he
so
got his comeuppance. That's
he really does. So Maddie, if any of the readers remember, has a bit of a thing. She's a client of my apothecary from the Miracles of Harley Street
oh,
series.
fun.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So
Love a good tie-in.
she has a kit of medicines, you might
Mhm.
call, or poisons. And they've come into play in previous books in the series. But now she's come to this house party, and the things that she really needs are not in there. But the things that others need are in her little box of concoctions. And she has this leather pouch that she's carrying.
Mhm.
Even that I researched, like, how would they have carried vials and things?
Mhm.
So this comes into play. She doesn't believe that the other 3 girls, who now all have found their happy endings and are all coming to this wedding with their husbands or fiancés.
So we get to see everybody again.
Everybody's coming.
I love when
Everyone's
we
going to
get to
be
see
there.
yeah, I love it when we get to see the characters we've already fallen in love with later
Yes.
on. That's so much fun.
Everybody's coming back, and everybody's there for the wedding. That is the couple from book 1. And it's Thomas and Ashley. And Maddie just tries, as she always does, from the background to make sure everything runs smoothly. And, that's how she gets herself in trouble alone in a room with this gorgeous, like, devastatingly sneezing Marquess. um, and she's just really sweet. He saves her a couple of times in different ways, but then she's the one in the end who has to catch him. So, I don't know. I can go on and on and on. It's a long book. It's a bit over 80,000 words.
Oh, fantastic. I love it when we get to like really fall into a book and stay there for a while. That's great.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you talked a little bit about ending the series. Can you tell us a little bit, because I don't think people know how writers feel when you have to say goodbye to characters, because when you're in the middle of the series, you're going to get to see them again. They're still real to you. They're still, they're still present. And then when you get to the end, it's like
It's really hard. It's I mean, I don't, my kids are little, but it feels like somebody's graduating, and it's the end of an era. And, it's in a good way, because they've succeeded. They find love. You have to work, or at least I have to really work through their emotional arc. The villains, sometimes, yes, also, but definitely the hero and the heroine, they have to fail, they grow, they may question their feelings a lot of the time, just like we always do.
yeah.
And that's how they, of course, the heroes and heroines that I write then are more like me. The heroes and heroines that someone else writes will be more like that person.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then
I
when
think
you
you
are
write what you can understand and what you can empathize with, you know.
exactly, and you have to feel it, as I said, to at least I have to feel it to put it on the page. Sometimes I cannot write maybe for a day or two until I work something out, and I have to fully imagine it. It happens in my head first. Once it's happened, then it's hard to change it. But I really work it out, and I ask many questions, and then I go in depth. I have the scene in this book with this avalanche, and I had to make the scene happen first because I wanted a certain rescue scene, and I
Mhm.
wanted an after that rescue scene. I know where it has to fit generally into the beats of the
Mhm.
book and the structure, and still the emotion has to come before I can.
Yeah.
It's not interesting. Otherwise, it's like note to self,
It's
avalanche,
technical
danger
writing.
pool.
Yeah.
So um, I had one of my readers actually said that that scene made her feel like she was trapped in the snow.
Oh, goodness.
and, and she lives in a very hot state, so that I
Well,
took
that's
credit.
welcome, I would imagine.
um, it's so then you after you work it out and you have to read it, you start editing your writing, you start sometimes there's a dirty draft scene, which means that I don't really pay attention to punctuation or so. I just get it on the scene because I
Yeah.
want to get the feelings. I can work on making sure I don't have 500 times he said, she said, or something. I can do that
Polish
later.
afterwards.
And after you felt it, it's like it's like when you cried at a movie, like it's over.
Mhm.
If you do it again, if you were to see the same movie again, it's never going to be the first time
Mhm.
again.
Yeah.
Like that, sort of.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. So do you get certain scenes like when you're getting ready to draft a book, do you get certain scenes that you know you want to have and then kind of fill in the rest of the thing, or do you have a very clear idea of where you want to go from beginning to end?
I do outline.
Mhm.
I do have my beats. I know what has to happen. I also know my weaknesses, and I know everybody's always growing. I try to learn something new every month.
Mhm.
And so, depending on what that month will be, I took a class, for instance, once. I think I told you about it, how kitchens were set up in the
Oh,
Regency
yeah.
era. So, of course, I had like three kitchen scenes then.
Mhm.
Um, so there are different things I will learn that will form the scenes,
Mhm.
that also guarantee that no book is like anything like the previous one or
Yeah.
so. But then scenes happen that shape the characters. Those are the ones I kind of carry with me for a while, and that make it possible, I think, for me to write 2 or 3 books at the same time.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
I'm writing one right now that will come out in a couple of months with Dragonblade, with a lemon orchard.
Oh,
And
wow.
nothing here feels like lemon orchard at all right now because we have a
Oh, please
still
tell me there are lemons on the cover.
three. Yes, I want to. But what we have downstairs is a bottle of limoncello that my husband bought in
Mhm.
Italy. And I actually just dipped a tissue in it. I put it on my desk. And
Oh,
I was like, to
good.
smell it.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, and I was thinking the heron probably never smelled it before. If she
Mhm.
was, there's no guarantee that she would know it.
Yeah.
So I have this scene at the orchard, and then from this, I kind of create her.
Mhm.
And I do this with all the characters. And then how would she react to this?
Yeah. Yeah,
I
that's
like
the
my
magic,
react.
you know?
Right, I'm asking my husband, if your suitcase was overweight, how did you fit this enormous bottle? It's so heavy, so much glass. The heroine would be like, how did they make it yellow or something?
Mhm.
How
Yeah.
did they, put lemon in the liquor?
Mhm.
Um, so that happened. Actually, in this book, there's a new recipe, and I put it at the end. It's in the end of the book. Ways
Oh,
to.
for what?
So
Recipe for what?
weird Regency thing. I put that in my Substack. I had to read this several times, Evelyn, you won't believe me. They took beer, for real,
Mhm.
in a bucket, and they would milk a cow into that bucket of beer.
No.
Yes,
What? No. Why? No.
to make it frothy.
No.
Isn't that weird?
That is weird.
Right?
That's really
So
weird.
I'm looking this up, and sometimes you read these Regency things and you keep them in mind, and it's like, that's like, wait, what? And I have to read it again.
Mhm.
And then I like go into Google Books or I log into the library. I have some of these primary sources on my phone because I
Mhm.
know I'll think about it and then I will want to look it up again when I'm somewhere. And so they couldn't whisk milk in the ways that we will like make it frothy now.
Mhm.
They could whisk cream, and they obviously churned butter. But so there is a drink and a recipe of how you can recreate it. I did it. It's not so bad, and I have no cow, but um,
I love that you like clarified the lack of cows.
we don't have. I
No
do not
cow.
have.
We have no
I
cow.
think they're lovely, but I don't have one, and maybe stuffed animal somewhere. But they would put beer and milk together, add eggs, and kind of create a liquidy custard with it, and serve it as what I think is one of the precursors of eggnog.
Like or like a sabayon, with the wine and the egg and
Yes.
okay. I can maybe wrap my head around it a little bit easier now than just milking right into the pail of beer.
So, so I was looking this up because you can't make it up. There is a made-up brewery
Mhm.
near the castle where this house party is taking place, and our darling Marquess Sebastian has always gone in and out of this brewery. And so I was like, what do you do with it? Like, what do I do? But Germans kind of make spätzle in black beer
Mhm.
kind of sauce, but that's not for Regency house party wedding you
Yeah.
kind of a thing. And so it took this research, and then I was like, this is like what he's gonna make. So Sebastian wakes up in the middle of the night, and it's one of the scenes that happened early on in my mind. And he goes to the kitchen with his fresh brewed beer, and he knows all the different kinds of beer, and he's not happy with how they
Mhm.
were brewed. And he like cracks the egg, and he starts whisking it to make his like comfort kind of eggnoggish kind of drink at night.
Yeah.
And he's sick. And then Maddie, who should never be caught alone in the kitchen with the Marquess, but follows him. She's like, "What are you
How else is she gonna
doing?"
kiss him? I mean, come on, man.
Right, right.
Right there in the title, it's gotta happen.
Oh, she's finding so many ways to kiss him that winter. And, so he's like, "Yeah, you've never had this? It's called an egg flip, by the way. I should have said that.
Oh,
It's called the egg flip." And I put the recipe in there. It's actually not so bad. And
not so bad is really selling it, Sarah. That's like
yeah, I know. The book is much better than the drink, but um yeah, so he makes it and he's still sick and he's like, you try it. And there's this scene, and I kept working on it over and over again. It's like he's not going to share his drink with her because he's sick, and they already understood back
Mhm.
then that if I share my drink with you and I'm sick,
You're
that's
gonna
not a
get
good
sick
idea.
too. Yeah.
So he's giving it to her first, and then he knows it's good because he knows how to make this.
Right.
And then he takes it, and she's like, "But wait, but now you basically have my germs Regency language." And he's like, "Well, that's for me to take to bed with me." And she's just like, "This was completely improper. I know it, and yet there's nothing I'm going to do about it."
Yeah.
So all of
There's
this is happening.
total level of intimacy without like actually crossing into oh, that's
Yeah.
lovely.
It's very cute. All the one I can't get enough of winter. It's so weird. People here all around me are complaining about winter, and I know it's
Cold.
it's freezing. It's freezing, and I'm even afraid to think about our electric bill this month. But I'm channeling this all into my winter book for the next one, and it's a really good setup. Like you get these scenes of like she's trapped inside. All she can do is look outside. So I've been researching what boots they would wear.
Oh, so what boots
Nothing.
do they wear?
Nothing good. It's like waxed leather or oiled leather, and it wasn't really the lady thing to have shearling or any kind of fur kind of insulation like Uggs or so.
No Uggs.
Yeah. And it's like nothing good. So if they went out to play in the snow, the ladies were freezing. Like, I don't care if they were maybe hiding woolen socks inside, they were
Yeah,
freezing.
so because your socks would get wet way too fast.
I think so.
Then you get wet wool socks. Like nobody needs that.
I think so. I think so. So this is when I go in the backyard and my neighbors see me. They didn't have real hoods for their winter pelisse cloaks kind of things. So I actually have a nothing special, but it's like sort of like a silk scarf. And I went outside and I'm tying it around myself. I'm like having my son throw snowballs at me. And our neighbors, you could see them looking. It's like, this is one of her weirdest
Reason
things.
for your craft.
But I have to figure out like the snow, and now I have this scene where like the snow melts into the back of her neck and it's like freezing, and she has the chills. Like once you do it, it's easy to write it down.
Yeah, because you can feel exactly. You're just describing it. Then you're just describing the thing instead of having to make it out.
Hence winter books. I'll talk to you in a few months and be like, so hot here at the beach writing a summer book.
I got to tell you that would be better because Southerners are not okay. We've had like way more snow than we normally have, and we don't know how to deal with it. And so, like for days, we were just like nobody even tried. Just like there's ice here. We're just gonna stay home. That's it. So
well, that's the great thing because I have some books in different seasons. So if anybody wants to save this one for when they need to cool down, there are other books of mine and the series where they can have a spring story if they want to speed that up, or a hot summer story. I have all of those.
Yeah, that's my favorite thing. Is that reading lets you escape, and you can escape to wherever you want to, in whatever time period you want to, in whatever season you want to. It's the perfect escape. You can pick it exactly the way you want. And with Dragonblade books, you can read them in Kindle Unlimited, so you don't even have to think about it. You can just pick exactly what you want, then pick the next one and the next one after that. So,
yes.
Awesome. Sara, it was so lovely to talk to you. I appreciate you taking the time. I appreciate you taking the whole entire space. It was nice to have a chance just to talk to you instead of having to share with lots of other authors. And the book sounds delightful. So I'm sure everyone will love it. I'll make sure I put the link to it in the comments. So if you haven't gotten it, you can grab it. Dragonblade books are their best deal. As soon as they go in pre-order, as soon as you see a Dragonblade pre-order, you want to jump on it because it's the lowest price you're going to get. It's cheaper than a bad cup of coffee. So there's just no reason not to. But even if you don't get it, then you can read in Kindle Unlimited, which is my favorite way to read now. So awesome. Well, thanks again for taking the time to talk. I appreciate it.
It's such a pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.